Finally decided to buy a new chainsaw. Nearly killed myself yesterday trying to start my old one, so I've decided to buy a STIHL chainsaw. The model that I went for was the MS231 CBE. It's comfort, whatever that means, and it's got the ergo start. It's also got a toolless tension adjuster on the chain, so that should make life a little bit easier when I'm using it. Anyway, let's see what's in the box. The usual multi-tool, small screwdriver, chain, the chain guard, instruction manual, the chain bar, and the actual saw itself. According to the instructions, this thing flicks up and just unscrews. So that was pretty easy. That's the chain. So let's see if I can figure out how to put this thing together. I think I've got to take this thing off. Right, then I've got to remove this screw. Which I've done. And so it says position the tensioning gear and the guide bar in position relative to each other, so I'm assuming that this slots over those two holes there, and then the bush kind of, I don't know, it just feels, it does sort of slot in. I can feel it sort of slot in, that's fine. Then it says insert and tighten the screw. That's what the screwdriver's for, obviously. So I'll put the screw in and then tighten that. There we go. So fit the chain and make sure I put this on the right way, because in the past I've put the blade on the wrong way and wondered why the saw's not sewn. Which is really quite annoying, and it took me a while to work out what was wrong the first time I did it. So that goes in there. Just turn the guide bar so that tensioning gear faces the user. Alright, so I assume that means this way, so that that's facing me. Turn the tensioning gear to the right as far as possible. Oh, I see, that's actually, I don't know whether you can see that, but that's moving along. That is actually moving along the guide bar, so to the right as far as possible. That's it. Now place the saw chain on the chain sprocket. So that goes on the chain sprocket. Slide the guide bar over the collar screw number 3. The head of the rear collar screw must protrude into the oblong hole. Yeah, it's doing that. Slide the guide bar over the collar screw 3. The head of the rear collar. I think this has got to go over that. That looks about right to me. Right. That looks about right. I'm going to make sure the chain's actually inside the guide bar. I'm sorry it's taken me so long, but I've obviously not done this before, and it's not exactly, that's okay, I've sussed it now. Fit the chain sprocket cover, sliding the guide lugs into the engine housing. Right. Next step, tensioning the skin chain. So I think that's fine. I think that tension's okay. So to actually tension it, you pull this lever out, slacken it off, and then you turn. Oh, that is brilliant. You turn that. You'll just be able to pull the chain round. Tighten that back up again. That's it. So that's the actual thing assembled, which wasn't that easy, but I reckon now that I've put it together, it'll be easier the next time. Next thing I've got to do is put the petrol and the oil in it. It's a nice looking machine. I really do like the idea of being able to tension the blade without any tools. That's brilliant. Right, I'm going to put some fuel and chain oil into the saw. It's a 50:1 oil to petrol mix, and if you haven't got one of these, they're absolutely brilliant for measuring out your fuel mixtures for two-stroke engines. You fill it up to the 1 litre mark, which is there, and then you've got graduated marks on the side there which tell you what to top the oil up to. So I'm taking mine to 50:1, which is there. I'll do that in a second. I've also got a funnel so I don't make a mess on the table. And once I've done that, I'm going to start the saw up and see what this ergo starts like, because I've got no idea what to expect with that, so we'll see how it goes. So take that to the 50 mark, which is there. So the fuel cap, very easy, just clips up. It's a bayonet fitting of some description. Don't think I'm going to need the funnel. That's fuel. Well, that's actually very easy. And then the oil goes in there, which is a similar type of cap. I think for this I'll use a funnel because this is a different beast altogether for pouring. There we go, that's that. Made a bit of a mess there. Best not tell the wife about that, otherwise you get told off. Right, so that's my added fuel and chain oil. It says you've got to pump this bulb at least 5 times. Now we're getting fuel through now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 for luck. Then it says you've got to apply the brake. Take that cover off. Then at the back there is the switch. You've got to pull the handle up, put that down to cold starting, and you can't do that unless you depress the trigger. So I'll swing the camera around and I'll try and start it and see what it's like. Oh yes. Right, so it's coughed. Then you've got to change it to the warm start. Turn it off. Right, I can't tell you just how easy that start is. It is so easy. Let me just put that back into warm start, and I'll try and explain how this start works, because it is not what you would expect. So you kind of pull the handle up and it doesn't do anything, and then all of a sudden it sort of spins the engine over. It's very, very strange. So I'm just pulling it up really slowly, and you can hear it like turns the engine over when it's stored a certain amount of energy. Well, first impressions, it's absolutely brilliant. I can't get over that start. The tensioning mechanism on the blade is going to make life really, really easy. You don't need to use any tools. That's brilliant. And that ergo start, well, that's something else. I think anybody that has difficulty starting machines with a pull cord will find that very, very easy. Wasn't quite sure what to expect with that, but it's absolutely brilliant. So the next thing I'm going to do is take it out there and do some cutting with it, and I'll put another video together with the thing actually in operation. Assembling was quite difficult. Hopefully this video will help you if you come to do it yourself. But yeah, smashing machine. Can't wait to get out there and use it. And thank you for watching.